Look in my eyes for my mind state. I'm on the grind 25 days. Money on my mind, that's how I play. If you got it now, this what I say. Hold up, hold up, hold up, wait. Hold up, hold up, hold up, wait.
Welcome to the episode 13 of the Swerve City Podcast here today. Look who we got in the studio today. We got former NXT Cruiserweight champion.
Former.
Drew Gulak. I'm sorry, I had to put that in there.
Cruiserweight, that is true. Yeah.
It is a true fact.
Yeah. What's up?
Yo.
We're live.
We are live. Episode 13. It is
How do I go live on my Instagram?
Oh, see? I should have.
I've done it before. I just don't know.
You just go to the camera right here.
Yep.
You just slide over.
Oh, there's a live button. Okay.
Yep. And you switch
and
it
then
to.
I just
yeah,
hit
boom,
it there.
There you go.
And now I'm checking.
There it is.
There it is. There we go. What it
We're
do?
We're just hanging out with our phones here.
Yeah.
All right.
Show it around.
Let's go right here.
Boom. Show your fan base. Let them know what it's like here at the Swerve City Podcast. They should already know because they should already be subscribed on YouTube at youtube.com/Swerve City Podcast and joining our Patreon at patreon.com/Swerve City Podcast. What it do? It's Isaiah Swerve Scott. November 11th. 11/11 today here. Happy Veterans Day to yours truly.
Hey, Telly.
Boom.
Happy Veterans Day.
Happy Veterans Day, everybody.
Happy Veterans Day. We got some vets in here.
Boom. 6
Here's
years
one.
Army Reserves. 254th
another
Quartermaster
one.
Company.
Yeah.
Shout out. 254th Quartermaster Company. Shout out to y'all.
Yeah. Big Veterans Day episode
York,
here.
Pennsylvania. Boom. And
Shout out.
yeah, shout out.
All right. So where do they got to go to watch the podcast? Where are we going here?
So this episode will be available on Saturday. Oh, actually, how do we do the side? It's Friday to the Patreon subscribers, so you get 3 days early.
Saturday.
Is that Saturday? Friday? Saturday? We do Saturdays now? Saturdays it is!
All right.
Saturday, join the Patreon. You get the episode 3 days early. And if you wait and join us on, subscribe to us on youtube.com/Swerve City Podcast, you can catch us on Monday, the full episode with Drew Gulak himself. And check out the other episodes we have on there. We got episodes of Adam Cole, Killian Dane, Team Kit with Tegan Knox, and Dakota Kai. We got the Street Profits on there. We got Rhea Ripley and Bronson Reed. Who else we got on there? Cedric. Boom. Alexander.
Relationship.
Relationship. Marriage.
Right. Big time. Relationship.
Marriage. Bling bling.
Marriage.
Boom. So yeah, so if you're new
Look at
to the
that rock. Look at that
podcast,
rock.
if you're new to the show, check us out.
Look at that money.
Subscribe.
Look at that money on that hand.
Money.
Blang blang in the
Money.
place to
Give me
be.
the money.
And we got an episode featuring Mansoor and Dio Madden on there together.
No
So-
way.
Oh yeah.
At the same time?
At the
Same
same time.
time.
Explosion.
That's unbelievable.
What?
It's funny because
They can talk about anime and Saudi Arabia.
they do both.
Wow.
Yeah. So if you want to see that, check it out. There's a good story with their Mansoor and Shane McMahon too. So if you want to hear that, check that episode out.
Love me a good Shane McMahon
Yes.
story.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But
Wow.
we got to go over here to the. Actually,
Yeah.
this is a pretty big deal. Big Swole got some big news.
You got big news?
Big news. Big news.
Big news.
Because she had some big matches the past 2 weeks.
Oh, let's hear it.
Mm-hmm.
Who said that?
I said it. Swerve said it.
Yeah, I had some really, really big matches. Yeah, I was had those AEW Dark matches.
Mhm.
They were fire. They were fire. I just had a match with Sheeta in Charlotte. Actually, of all places. If anybody doesn't know, Charlotte was where I first started wrestling and wrestling training with George South.
Oh, yeah.
At High Spots. So it was full circle coming back, and I had Arnie Anderson doing commentary for my match. So that was like that was everything.
Yes.
But yeah, I did that.
Check out
and-
Big Swole.
Right. Everybody's always wondering, like, oh, did you sign? Like, there was some things that were offered, and we're just, I'm talking to my Lord, talking to my husband, trying to work things out, so.
Oh, that's exciting.
Say lawyer.
Congratulations.
Say lawyer.
Yeah.
Say lawyer.
Lawyer.
Oh, I heard lar. Lar.
Yep.
Lar.
But boom, big news for Big Swole over there. And we got my co-host over there,
Yeah.
Mr. Teasy Scott. Say what up, everybody.
Yeah, man, you know me, man. Day late and a dollar short, but I'm here, baby. You guys know it's Teasy Scott here. There's some news with me as well. If you guys tune into that show as well, that other show, you guys can also go to AWC. My song for Sammy Guevara is now streaming. The iTunes is looking great. So salute to that. You know what I'm saying? I'm still on my run. I'm still in the game. I'm still here. So make sure you guys tune in, go to iTunes, check out that song, Take Flight, and support for that. The music video's out right now as well. And make sure you guys, also, he was talking about the episodes we did. Make sure you guys on the channel, youtube.com/Swerve City Podcast. Check out our music. We have some great music. We're working on an album right now from Humble Beginnings, dropping April 5th, 2020. Make sure you guys check out the music. We have Broke Boys featuring wonderful sis over here singing that wonderful.
With the vocals.
With the vocals on
The
that
crisp
album.
vocals.
We got I'm the Man. You go, I'm the Man featuring Cedric Alexander. Who else we had?
Angelo Dawkins.
Angelo Dawkins in the
Been
video.
there. D.A. Brewer, referee
Brewer
NXT.
Absolutely.
And D.O. Madden.
D.O. Madden in the video. So,
all 6'8" of them.
Very
Fit him in
tall
that camera.
guy. Make sure you guys,
Thank you.
check out the music. We're in the process of working on the album. And we have something special coming soon. Can't really announce that yet, but the next one,
big.
The next one is big. That's all I can say.
Big feature.
The next one is big feature. We got an Industry Connects on that, so make sure you guys check that out, man. And I appreciate the segue, my brother. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
Wait a minute. There's also going to be more on For the Fam, so please make sure you tune in.
Facts.
Follow us on the social medias because we are.
All of them.
The party is going down.
Yeah, we got some things. I just got the phone with Sis this morning, and we got some things popping for the party. So make sure.
Special invite only. So
invite only.
Exclusive.
It's very exclusive.
Very man.
That's why it's for the fam.
For the fam, we had this idea, this wonderful party, and stay tuned to the social media, man. We got some things going down. Might grab the mic and spit my garbage.
Yeah, somebody's upset that you gave up on the baldy. See you getting your hair back. They don't like that.
They don't like that.
They don't like
somebody
that.
Somebody like that.
Somebody missed the baldy, man.
Somebody missed the baldy.
Especially with the On the Man video, you was sweating it.
Man, it was hot. Every time I walk outside, I was sweating. I couldn't do it.
Yeah. And a big shout out to Leo Rush over there, who just dropped his album today on his birthday, November 11th.
Happy 17th birthday, Leo Rush.
Yeah, he just got out
It's
the
a big
booster
one.
chair.
It's
So
a real big one for you. Congratulations on your album. We're pulling for you.
And
You said happy 17th birthday?
Mm-hmm.
It's because he's small.
Oh. Ha! It's funny because he's not very big at all.
It's funny because he's small.
He's adorable.
He's adorable. Now, transition to the man that was actually defeated by Leo Rush.
You got some chicken.
How's it going, man?
It's going good. It's going good.
How's it going, man?
It's going good. Got a lot of stuff going on.
Yes.
I just played Outer Worlds today on my couch. And I got to the planet Monarch in that.
Ooh.
So that's
going to be a discussion
that's
y'all
what
going to get into
I'm doing
later on. So
sneak preview.
Yeah.
Sneak preview.
So we're going to go back to the Outer Worlds discussion, but for now we're going to start off with Mr. Drew Gulak.
Yeah.
Just got drafted to SmackDown.
Yeah.
Facing off against Braun Strowman.
Yep.
Man, doing big things right now.
Yep.
And it's
Fought Brown Strongman.
Brown Strongman.
Yep.
He is a very brown strong man.
He is a very strong man.
Now,
What?
from West Philadelphia, born and raised.
Northeast.
Northeast.
South. I did live in
Pleasant.
West. Yeah, but I
Yes.
grew up in Northeast.
Northeast Philly. Okay.
Yeah. But we all love some Fresh Prince. So.
I tried to fit that reference in, didn't work as good.
Yep.
But
You
Northeast.
tried,
Philly.
though.
Northwest, same thing. It fits.
Yeah.
It fits.
Yeah. Yeah, I not gonna lie. When I was living in Richmond, Virginia, there was a lot of people down there that thought Pennsylvania was inside Philadelphia.
Oh.
Huh?
Well, I think
Where were you
Geographically wrong.
This is Richmond, Virginia.
This is Richmond, Virginia.
Okay.
Well, that
Yeah.
explains
Hopewell.
it.
What's that about?
There was like
Standardized
Hopewell,
tests we were
Georgia.
talking about, right?
Right,
Yeah.
I don't think they got
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah. So talking about growing up in Philadelphia, man.
Yeah. What about it?
Like going to school, getting to like friends.
I
parents and
was pretty
everything?
lucky. I was able to stay out of trouble. I had a good core group of friends, and like we hung out together. And I didn't wind up getting mixed up in like drugs and I don't know, a bunch of gangs and stuff. Like there's a lot of gangs.
You were seeing that
in
a
the
lot?
area. Everywhere. We would go to this roller rink. It was like 12, 13, right? There'd be gangs at the roller rink. 13-year-old. I remember there was this kid. It was the leader of the gang, and
What were gang leaders wearing at the time? First of all,
he was in a wheelchair. No, he had.
What?
So he had
What?
Yeah, he was in a wheelchair, but like
Mastermind.
I guess he was cool. Yeah,
He was
'cause
mastermind.
I don't know if it had anything to do with. I don't know. Anyway, he was the leader of the gang.
Gang leader was
But
in a wheelchair. I'm
Professor
yeah,
X, buddy.
yeah, I'll never forget it.
That's some
I'll
dope
never forget
type
it.
stuff,
I'll never
man.
forget it. But he was at the roller rink. He couldn't use the rink because of, you know, his disability, but he was there and like people were just like surrounding him. And I'll never forget that. I was like, that was,
That's a mastermind.
I was just there with my friends. We just want
Wow.
to skate around the rink. Literally circles. Dave Matthews Band playing on the speaker. Like, we just want to go in circles, and there's kids over there. Yeah. And as we were leaving, one of my friends, who's actually a homosexual, and someone came up from behind him and punched him in the face as hard as they could. I'll never forget that as we were leaving the rink. Yeah, just for no reason whatsoever. Maybe like looked at him weird throughout the whole. Yeah. So that was an average night out for.
It was average.
Yeah.
Wow.
Average night on the town growing up in Philadelphia. Yeah.
I miss like the roller rinks days. Do we still have those now?
Yeah,
They're
there's
there.
a place called Astro Skate.
The one place we do have.
Right, yeah. The best one is in Tampa. But there's one here in Orlando. It's a very pink, purplish building. You can't miss it. It's called Astro Skate.
I think I might have rolled past there.
You get
But I
up
don't
in
know.
there and you hear that. Ding, ding,
Is
ding,
that a
ding,
popular
ding,
thing though? I don't know if the roller rink is a popular thing that
What?
kids do it nowadays. Like it's like, oh, Friday night, no
That
school
was-
tomorrow.
that
we
was
go to the
the
roller
No,
rink.
no,
That was a
man,
thing, man.
that
Kids
was-
was broke, man.
Kids don't have roller rinks today. They don't. They have
don't, yeah.
they have Instagram, and they,
Facts.
yeah.
There's nothing better than
The
going
same
to the
exact
roller rink and then getting some
thing
churros
right
or
here.
something, you know? You get some churros and like a Mountain Dew, and it's like the best
Churros
time
and them high sodium
ever.
cheese
The
fries.
hot sodium cheese fries or some nachos.
No,
It's
but,
like, don't come in that roller
but you
rink
know
with
you
your
went to the
nachos.
roller rink because it had dance afterwards.
Yeah.
And you was trying to get
You
the
was right.
fine girl. And you was trying. Oh, yep, this is it. Because
Right,
you wasn't
had all
talking to
the
you at
black-
school,
all
but
the
the roller
black
rink, she
lights.
probably talked to you.
Right. That,
She probably
all
talked to you
the
at the roller
black
rink.
lights, and then one little space, and you just like.
Like, oh, we gonna
Yeah,
go to this
we
corner
was
over
waiting
here.
for
12-year-olds are
cha-cha
no good in
slide.
there.
Right, yeah.
Yo,
That's-
we
trust
was
me.
cha-cha slide, man.
When those roll down. Let's
That's
not
it.
go back to that because look, I was
Yep.
I
Yep.
was back in my day when I was.
Nelly
7.
Hot in Here came on. Oh!
Every
Yeah.
time I went to a roller skate, it always had Nelly playing.
Right.
Every
Every
time.
time.
Hot in Here was always, that was like the roller skate song. That's like the party track
Yep.
back when we were growing up. I swear.
Oh.
It
So,
really was. I loved it. I loved it.
so you were close relationship with the parents and everything. Had a good relationship, pretty much with them. You grew up with both parents, right? And your brother.
Yeah.
or-
Luckily, I grew up with my mom and my dad. They were together at the time. They're separated now, or divorced now. And grew up with my brother Rory, who's 3 years younger than me. We grew up. Actually, we lived in the suburbs till I was about 10, and then we lost a lot of our money, and we had to move in with my grandparents. So it was like a house with me, my brother, my grandmother, my grandfather, my mom, my dad, my aunt, and she had like a ton of pets. Still does. She does like rescue and stuff like that. So like our house was full. There was yelling going on constantly all the time. The neighbor. I had a buddy who lived like down the street, right?
Oh, wow.
And our windows would be shut, and he would be in his room at his house. Like, I'm not talking across the street. I'm talking like, you know, a few houses over and like around the cul-de-sac, like that kind of way.
Yeah.
And he would hear my mom and like my aunt yelling at each other like in the middle of the day on the regular. That's like kind of the house I grew up in. So like we wound up staying. It was supposed to be temporary. Wound up staying there through middle school, through high school, and my parents separated and divorced right when I left for college, and I moved into Drexel in West Philly.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So
See,
yeah.
I went through some similar things like that, like having to move out, like parents separating at the time, maybe like 10, 11 years old, and having to move in with relatives or family friends and stuff like that. But as a kid, like most times, you don't realize you're going through struggles. You're just a kid, and you're just like,
Exactly.
oh, you're
Yeah.
just moving along with
Right.
whatever's happening.
Right.
Did you ever feel like something was wrong?
So I
Or
knew-
Yeah.
I knew like you know, when stuff started getting bad, that like they weren't happy with each other, and then you know my dad told me and my brother. I remember that he was leaving, and like so
You
I
got
knew.
told?
Yeah, he took us. Well, I mean, there was some stuff going on. Yeah. He took us aside and
Yeah.
told us, and we didn't realize how bad it was, but we were like, okay, cool, as long as you're happy,
Right.
like do what you guys need to do to be happy. So we did have that communication. We were lucky on that end.
Yeah, absolutely.
But you know, I don't know. I knew it was happening. I didn't really think anything of it at the time. I was just like, this is just the way life's going. I think my brother took it a little worse. He was a little younger, you know.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. But yeah.
Yeah,
I think everyone's happy now, which is.
I know as a child, I mean, I was just always just happy, or I got into my own world. Most kids do. They get into their own little world. They play their games, or make figurines, or draw, or whatever.
Right.
And you don't really, you just block out a lot of that stuff. So what was your, escape from blocking out a lot of the noise that was going on? Did you have one?
I was at wrestling practice every day, but I mean that was.
At what age was this?
So I started training at 15, I think, 15 or 16, like right around there. So in high school, but I would be on the wrestling team straight. So I'd go to school, stay, do practice there. Then I'd drive all the way into Deptford at the time. That's where the school was in Deptford, and get beat up for like 2 hours, and then go to school the next day. I'd fall asleep in the cafeteria, and my boys would be having a conversation around me, right? And I'd kind of be listening, kind of not, but I'd be sleeping. And one of them said the word "sell" in the conversation, like just having a regular conversation. I convulsed and fell out of my table because the night before I was getting beat up and I'm yelling "sell, sell," like trying to teach me how to sell, like as a kid, right? So like for whatever reason, I remember that I fell out of my chair in the middle of the cafeteria, right on the floor, with my group of friends.
So, man, we got to go more into that, but the only way that they're going to see is if they subscribe to the
Oh, no.
YouTube channel.
Oh, no, they're cutting everyone off.
We got to cut you off. Cut off.
Hey, guys.
Oh, they asking questions in this chat, too,
I'm
and
gonna go live
everything.
on
That's
here
beautiful.
Like I always
man.
tell you guys on the Swerve City chat, you guys can just go right here and look at the
Thank
link.
you.
See that? Look at the banner.
It's right there.
You
You'll see
guys
it every
always
episode.
ask how you spell it, how I look.
Look at the peoples.
It's right there.
Look at the peoples.
But we look forward to seeing y'all and getting these subscribers up and these views up. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Swerve City Podcast.
Check you out on YouTube. Boom.
Boom, boom,
Boom. And then boom.
All right.
Yes.
Share the story. Make sure
Cool.
you share the story.
I'm go home and go live. Yes, I share.
It should
share
share
it.
now.
Yeah, it's on
Definitely.
there.
Yeah,
It's
it's
on
up there. For their viewing pleasure. I love it.
Cool. So now my mom will call me about that later.
I know you wasn't sharing your business.
What are you talking about? Yeah. We didn't lose our money. Yeah.
Yeah, you did.
It's right here.
Yes,
See?
Yes, we did.
I'm living in
That's
Florida
fine.
now directly because of all of that.
You know, same thing happens to my grandmother, but nobody wants to talk about it. But I'm like, how you owned all this stuff and we ain't got nothing? Alright.
Yeah, like my mom just started watching the episodes now, so she's like, "Oh, y'all told him that? The world, everybody." They all know now, mom.
Anytime I have an
Yeah,
interview or something, like I get some kind of message like that didn't happen. Even if it's like
Fabricated.
if it's just like wrestling stuff, like Braun Strowman beat you up and like I have to talk about it, she'd be like, why didn't you tell him like this instead? Like why didn't you beat him up instead like that? Like and I'm
Well,
like, Mom, just chill.
We got this.
Cool.
We got this under control.
I'll get him next time. I'll try to keep her hopes up. Keep tuning in. Keep tuning in.
On the next episode of Drew
Yeah.
Gulak's interviews.
I'll do exactly what you said next time.
So going into wrestling training, did you have any mentors that you pretty much went up under, latched onto, or is this like another trainer?
So immediately, when me and Rory started training, Joker and Sabian, who is now Black G's, aka Darnell Cottrell, aka needs
Shout
to
out to my guy.
start taking
I
his
made your
shirt
music-
off in the ring
I
because
made
he's
your music
looking
too,
pretty
you know.
pretty
My
haggard.
resume deep.
Yeah, they took us under their wing, like right from the jump, like protected us and like taught us kind of like the etiquette and everything, and kept us out of trouble or got Rory into more trouble depending on what the day was.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah, those two specifically.
This was the discipline. Sorry. Was the discipline very high and like very difficult like to adjust to? Because I know them guys are just hard, tough as nails guys, right? So
Yeah, they didn't play games.
yeah.
I mean, Joker had a whole like a fashion stable kind of thing that he like a clique kind of thing that he made called No Respect. So like that was like his attitude towards things. He's a vet too.
Yeah.
And he's just like a psycho. He can be a real psycho. Awesome guy. Awesome dude. But like when it comes to nonsense, there ain't no room for that. Yeah. So I had an easy time. Rory had a harder time with that kind of stuff. So
I'll never forget the intimidation factor that he just let on. Like especially when I started coming around in Philly up there, man. Like is he just like he had a presence about him. It's just you didn't even want to like go anywhere near like crossing or like even overstep boundaries and everything like that. You had to communicate with him a certain way, approach him the right way.
I like to think like he commanded a lot of respect.
Yes.
In that sense,
Yeah.
Like yeah.
She's had something to say.
I did.
Did you forget it?
No.
Okay.
Some people people that had some questions for you on Twitter. I think one of them said, "How do you feel about Rory doing death matches?"
Oh, that's a good question. So
Yeah.
when I began training, my class was me, Andy Sumner, and Danny Havoc. Those were the graduates that came out of the school at that time.
Havoc, shout out.
Yeah, Danny Havoc.
Yeah.
Danny Havoc, like, super nice guy. But crazy deathmatch guy. Super violent. Some of the most violent, like, but exciting violent stuff that you'd ever see. Like
Innovative as well.
Innovative, yeah. That's exact. He was super creative, man. So, like, I'd always see that and be like, okay, that'd be fun. You know, like, I watched a lot of CZW. I'd love to do some, like, barbed wire and stuff like that. But I remember at the time, Quack and Hero had taken over the training responsibility for our school after we had graduated. And they didn't want me participating in those kinds of matches just for the sake of it. They wanted me to grow before I could make those decisions. So I stayed away from it. Now, Rory, when he started, he wasn't allowed to wrestle until he was 18 in Pennsylvania. Just because of the state athletic commission, the way it was there.
Right.
So what we had to do with him was he had to basically train the same training I went through, same hard-ass training I went through, pay his dues, the same dues I was paying at the same time. So he's setting up the ring, driving to shows, picking people up, doing all that stuff,
Right.
setting the whole venue up, building all the sets, all that stuff. And he's not even able to wrestle. So he went through all of that. Then when he's 18, we had the idea for him to pay tribute to Sick Nick Mondo, which was his idol at the
Yeah.
time and a good friend of ours, and he kind of carried on that name. So with that name, Sick Nick Mondo is like a legendary deathmatch wrestler. Like, yeah, like he inspired people to kind of like pursue deathmatch wrestling. Rory stayed away from it. He didn't do it, and he caught a lot of flack for that because he couldn't live up to the reputation.
Yeah,
Right. So he decided that he wanted to start doing these matches, and if you want to do it, fine. But the first time I saw him get thrown through glass off the top of the ring to the floor where there's no pads, it's all concrete, and his back all scratched up and cut up after that match, like, I was like, all right, well, this is it now. Your back's scarred. Like, you know, there's no turning back. Like I remember taking a picture of his back before that match. It was like a blank canvas. Perfectly, not a blemish. not one blemish. Yeah.
Not a black pen, it was perfect.
It was perfect, yeah. After that, though, scars. And now if you look at his back, it just looks like a deathmatch. Yeah, just like it tells a story. Like you could see, like, okay, this happened here and this happened here. So, yeah, I mean, it kind of turned into a phase. You know, or at least to him, it was a phase. And then went away from it, and now he kind of understands that it's like a special thing that he wants to go back to. And he got beat up. He took a lot of punishment.
Yeah.
Like, my brother's back is messed up. Like,
I'll never
his
forget,
hips are always hurting, and like I don't have that. And I might have like 5 or 6 times the matches just because of the way our careers went. So like,
I remember
it's the punishment, man.
because I started coming around in 2011, and I just saw like it wasn't the tail end. He's probably got the tail end of his death matches like 2013, 2014 maybe.
His last one was the Cage of Death after the one I did.
So that was 14 then.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. So that was the last one. But yeah, I came in 2011, and I was there when he did the death match with Drake Younger.
Oh yeah.
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 He still feels that one.
Oh,
You're talking about the one with the trash can upside down and got powerbomb
on it from the top.
Yeah. Crazy.
Yep. Never forget that.
Yeah. So that actually.
That was I was like, oh my god.
That match is funny. So that Rory had a tour in Big Japan that fall, and he was there with Devin Moore, Masada, and Drake. And those guys were like kind of the vets. Oh no, Drake wasn't there on that tour. I'm sorry. It was the Chris boys.
Yeah. Okay.
So
yeah.
they were all there. They were supposed to be taking care of Rory because Rory was, I don't know, 19 at this time, maybe 20 at this time. He's 3 years younger than me, so he might have been 23. All right, I could be wrong. He might have been like 23. Anyway, so they're supposed to be looking out for him. And something happened. There was a miscommunication, or they bullied him, or something. Like, you're trying to, like, you know, pick on the new guy, like that kind of thing. Where Rory wound up coming home early from the tour. He did legit get sick, and he came home early from the tour and caught some heat from that. And somehow Drake kind of turned into the guy where he has to kind of like teach Rory some responsibility and teach him like how to like act properly or whatever. And then that evolved over that couple of months through a loose storyline that CZW had into a singles match where they had this crazy death match where Drake was really punishing my brother. Rory gave it back to him for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, brutal match.
Brutal match. I think I still have might have the DVD here. I don't know, but man, I'll never forget that. So I know when
Good question. Thank you, caller.
Boom. Right?
Tweeter.
Right.
Yep. So I remember when I started coming in, I came into that 2011. Adam Cole brought me up there, introduced me to DJ. I met you like maybe a couple training sessions later.
Right.
You started running class. And I'll never forget, you were super tough. Super tough. And it's like, at the time I go back, I
don't even remember how tough I was.
Oh, like, your mind might have just blanked out at that time.
Yeah.
Who knows? But I remember I hated you at the time. I was like, oh my God, I hate Drew Gulak, man. Oh, I hated it.
So what didn't you like about the training?
At the time it was like, I'm coming from Virginia.
Yeah.
They teach the Memphis, like, shoot the headlock, the
Sure.
very basic and like not as much contact. So my mindset was there, and then coming up, we were more physical. It was more demanding. It was more like you're on it. It was very vocal about a lot of things as well. Like when you messed up, you heard it right then and there in front of everybody, and then you had to do it again, and then you got beat up. Then you heard it again. So it was like, it was a whole different mind state.
Yeah.
But it was challenging and pushed me. Now and then, like, there was other lessons, like when we started doing Dragon Gate USA and Evolve, working for Gabe and stuff. You taught these little lessons to me and pulled me aside often.
Yeah.
And at the time, I was just like, man, why is he always on me? And that was the thing. It was like he just stayed on me all the time.
So
Sammy was the same way.
you were one of our guys. That's how Sammy was the same way.
Right,
Exactly.
Sammy was the same way.
Yeah.
And I'll never forget that. And I'm like now looking back, I'm like, I see it now. I get it. At the time, it was like very annoying. It was very like just it gets under your skin, especially when you're young and you're getting opportunities and you think you're accelerating faster than you should be accelerating. Like the wrestling business and entertainment period, when you accelerate at a certain speed, your mind is going 3 steps ahead, but your body and what you're saying and what you're expressing to the world, like getting heat for stupid stuff that you don't know.
Yeah, because you're not there.
You're not there. You're
present for it.
3
Right.
steps ahead.
Right.
And especially when you're young and you're not used to those things. So I appreciate like always getting pulled back and like, whoa, back up.
Yeah.
This is what you need to do. This is what I see that you're doing, and this is what other people are seeing. Let's contain what you have right now.
Yeah, and sometimes it's hard.
It's
Like, you
hard
don't
to.
know.
It's
You don't know
very
how.
hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you feel like that's a lost art, like that old school mentality? Because I honestly prefer it, like the paying your dues and everything. I feel like it's not like something that's done.
So
a
that's the
lot.
thing, like when people say, and I agree that it is kind of like not really present as it used to be, but I think like how you put it is the right way. Like at least it was the same with Joker and Sabian with me. Like they saw us as like people who were putting up with the rigors of everything and not quitting. You didn't quit, right? And we saw that. So it's like we look out for our own now. Now you're in this, and it is a fraternity and a family. So like I think that's where it comes from. Like people say paying your dues, like, oh man, but that's how it is to someone who doesn't really go through the process. But once you go through it and you're accepted into this community, like
Now wherever you go in the world,
That's
you,
it.
You have that.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So it lifts you up. It doesn't tear you down. And I think like lately, especially with the way things are, with communication and everything and technology, that people have kind of like pushed that away. And I don't know if it's for the better or for not, but it's gonna work out either way, right? So has no choice.
So to add on to that, like, what do you feel? And it's something that I go through as well, as someone who's like paying their dues and making music. I'm a musician, so a lot of touring, a lot of in the studio. What do you feel about the other side of the spectrum, where you feel like you're paying your dues and you paid your dues and did it the right way, but you don't feel like your breakthrough has come through yet? How do you?
I see a lot of people who go through that, and it's like, man, I'm doing everything right. I'm doing everything I'm supposed to do, and like, it's tough. Sometimes you get so locked into something when you're passionate about it, and like you have an idea and you want to like form this idea, and it's good, it feels good, and like other people might even be telling you it's good, and it's not always working out. That sometimes it's like it's hard to see the bigger picture, like the cut and dry kind of like what's going on. I'll use a good example. So like guys like Quackenbush and Hero, right? They're known as like these amazing technical wrestlers, right? They got unique characters for sure. But to me, the guy from Chikara that always stood out was Larry Sweeney because of his personality. Now, Larry Sweeney wasn't the best wrestler, but he knew a little bit of the basics. But at the same time, it's like, man, I'm a better wrestler than him. I work harder than him. Why aren't I doing as good as him? Like, you could have that feeling towards him. And, like, the cut and dry of it is that, no, this guy's just cutting promos over and over again. His visibility's going up because people are sharing that. and they're talking about it. So I think I'm not too keen on like the music industry, the ins and outs of it now. My stepdad is a musician. He came up in the Asbury Park scene with like Bruce Springsteen and those kinds of people.
Oh, nice.
And he talks to me about this whenever we talk about it. And he used to be able to just put an album out and he would make all his money on that. But now he sees like the way social media has impacted the music industry, and like people will just put their album up for free and they'll get views and they'll push that way, kind of like how we do, on the indies now.
We don't sell DVDs anymore.
Right, that's the thing. Like that's not where the money's coming from. The money's coming from the views, and like then you try to build a fan base through it, and then they might come see your gig, or like at least tell people about your stuff. So like I think it's just technology is evolving and culture's evolving around it because of it. So this might even be the same thing as like how the generation before us felt about our generation coming out, right? Yeah, they're not doing it right.
That rabbit hole.
But that's it, right? It's a cultural shift. So I think the people who are doing well are like they're on top of that. They're either playing it face or not. They're like showing it they care or not, like depending on what their scene is. But yeah, they're digging into it for sure. You got to be like a step ahead of culture and trends and stuff like that.
And that's so tricky right now.
Yeah.
Because like technology, and
the trick is how to do it, how to do it better.
And we discuss this all the time with the hip hop industry. It's so trendy. We hop on the trend that's coming right now, and then the last music, which was like maybe a couple months old, is now ancient. Now we're not even on that.
It's that quick.
Yeah, it just moves so quick.
Yeah.
The clothing, nobody wears this anymore. No, we're off of this. We're listening to this. Reggaeton is a thing now, or we move into Caribbean style music, or like it always just shifts so quickly. So being ahead in the music industry as far as hip hop, I feel like is the hardest one to get ahead of the curve on. Yeah. Because like if you go too ahead of the curve, then you're considered corny and like nobody messes with you and your music drops. Yeah. So if you go too far ahead.
Abstract.
Yeah.
They're not ready for this.
Yeah, Tyler Creator was ahead of his time. I say this all the time, like 5 years ago. And people were calling him corny. We don't like his music. We don't jump on him as much. Now he's the number one artist in the world right now. If not, like top 5 currently. But it's scary because now that's kind of transitioning into wrestling, and I'm seeing it now. Like, especially like the bubble. I'm like not in the independent as much anymore. But so I'm seeing like who's this? Man, who's this? And I don't hear from him anymore. Wait, who's this? Who's this now?
Sure.
I'm not hearing from him anymore. Yeah. So it's
viral video. To be fair though, like on the indies, there was always like the flavor of the week, is what they called it. And there was and Combat Zone had that relationship with Smart Mark Video, who were doing the tape trades, where like whoever the flavor of the week was, they were getting booked through Combat Zone Wrestling, and they didn't always stick around. Yeah. So like I did see that, but now it's so much faster because of viral videos. Very fast. Yeah.
People get opportunities
quick.
Who's
hot soup? All right, well this person. Okay, well this person. It's not often that you see the longevity.
Yeah, you need to find. I think one of the things I've learned, no matter what it is, you got to find some kind of an emotional connection with people, where people relate to you, and then you'll have that forever. They'll remember you. Mm-hmm. It's not so much about like what stunts you can hit, at that time of the day. It's how you can kind of like pull people into what you're doing. Right. Yeah.
And that comes with a lot of influence. Who was your influences with making your adapting to the style that you have right now?
So the big switch for me was like I always liked Ken Shamrock growing up. Oh. Loved him. It just his intensity stood out to me. I was like, this guy's strong, and like the way he was booked, looking back, like it makes sense that I would dig him. But when I got into wrestling, I didn't even know. I liked going to Combat Zone Wrestling shows. I had no idea. And then Hero, I got to practice one time early, and he had a DVD player, and we were watching World of Sport Wrestling. So it was like Johnny Saint and Steve Gray. And like once I saw that and I saw how serious they took it and made it into a sport, and how they were able to change the tempo in their matches to kind of bring the speed up and down while never losing the realism of it, I was like, this feels like something I should do more of. And no one at the time was really doing it. Quack was trying a little bit here and there. It's just kind of like Johnny Saint stuff, but no one was really going after like the hard in your face, like grappling is a sport kind of thing at the time. And I don't mean like jiu-jitsu. I mean like Lancashire catch can. We're doing collar elbow lockups and then hip tossing people, like stuff you don't really see. You don't even really see it today.
I can say you're ahead of your time with that too, because that grappling didn't really come into like a real big thing until like later on. At that time, it was like more high flyers. Everybody wanted to see high flying and speed.
Right.
From what I remember.
Yeah. So I think around the same time I started doing that, Zack Sabre Jr. started doing it in England. a little bit, and we crossed paths a few times when CZW and WXW would work together.
Yeah.
And from there, guys like Tim Thatcher and the West Coast started coming up with guys who were like who used to do like battle arts or catch wrestling, pancrase and stuff like that. And Gresham started really changing up his style a lot in the South, and I think he traveled all over the world trying to get better and learn different ways of doing that. So the generation before, like our generation, was definitely like Quack and Hero. Like you can see their influence in all sorts of stuff, and a lot of their stuff comes from Skydo, which is the technical luchador who came in and taught a bunch of us. Legendary wrestler there, and like at the same time you have the Japanese style, which is more like jiu-jitsu based, judo based, catch based kind of stuff out of there. But our style was more like flamboyant English, old school English wrestling, or like that weird Yave lucha style that kind of mixed. And then it just sort of it kind of merged together. I think as people traveled, and technology kind of grew too.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Man, this is a good time to get into Teasy's table and change the conversation to
okay, let's pivot.
Music.
Let's do it, man. So,
Yeah.
tell me some of your favorite artists, man. Growing up, who were some of your favorite artists back then? Like growing up, who was you listening to?
The first CD I ever bought was REM, the eponymous album.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that's the one with like it's the end of the world. Yeah, as you know it. And then Weird Al's Running with Scissors.
What songs on it? What parodies did he do on that one?
Oh, no, actually, it wasn't Running with Scissors. I'm sorry. That was the second one that came out. It was Bad Hair Day, which was the one he did Amish Paradise of Coolio.
Oh, okay.
Classic. That's the classic. Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
For whatever reason, that was like the first album. But like as I was growing up, I didn't really have a style that I listened to on my own. It was like my dad listened to Led Zeppelin, my mom listened to Bruce Springsteen. That's kind of like what I came up listening to, like Van Halen and like those kinds of AC/DC, all those kinds of bands, Bon Jovi, anything like that. So then when I finally, through middle school, I started listening into like more like heavy metal kind of stuff, like Godsmack and like Disturbed, and like Limp Bizkit was like coming out. It was like that weird new metal phase. Korn was the thing then.
Late 90s, early 2000s.
Yeah. And it was all kind of tied in with wrestling too. Linkin Park, like all of
every
that.
hype video.
Yeah. It was so like whatever they were playing, like I started listening to it too. At first I thought it was like, it's too heavy, I'll never listen to it. But then it's like, okay, now I dig it, and I started listening to it. While the kids were listening to Puffy and like Nelly and all that stuff at the time. So
Hot in Her.
yeah,
Pimp
and then
Juice.
I started playing guitar when I was in high school. Just started teaching myself like how to play guitar, and that kind of let me start to like expand my musical taste into like other stuff. And now I listen to everything these days. So like growing up, Limp Bizkit,
Right.
what Weird Al,
Absolutely.
The other guy's directing
Yeah.
movies now.
Yeah. So yeah.
So as you explore your talents, and you said you learned how to play guitar, like how was that for you? How'd you learn how to play guitar? Was it something where you got some lessons, or?
So Rory, my brother, begged my mom to get him like a starter guitar so that he could take these classes at whatever middle school. I don't know how they had this class because I did not have it when I went there. It was like a Philly middle school, and they had guitar lessons or whatever. Anyway, that lasted like
I had that in high school.
yeah, like I did.
Guitar one.
Oh man, that's awesome. I wish
I would have took piano. I still want to learn how to do
They had
piano.
piano and then violin and like drum.
So I think you know what,
Like,
dude?
separated
I messed with
everything.
piano before guitar.
Yeah?
Yeah, like my boy had a keyboard, and like
I
we
have
would.
a keyboard out there. I'm gonna find a lesson one day. I swear to God.
What can you play? Can you play anything you learned?
What can I play now? I could probably play a little bit of the Fur Elise. I could play Jungle Land. What else can I play on there? I don't know.
I'm mean
Jump.
with the Phil Collins on the piano.
Oh yeah,
Jump by who?
Van Halen.
Okay.
Yeah. Play that one. The Mortal Kombat theme song, I can throw that
Oh,
down too.
Okay. Yeah.
But no, I got more into guitar. Yeah, right. I do it too when I'm playing it. Yeah, I definitely got more into guitar. So I picked up my brother's guitar, just self-taught myself, just started reading tablatures and eventually chords and stuff like that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I still play it to today.
So-
So that those two instruments too, like you play those, you can pretty much play anything else. So
Yeah.
I messed around with a lot of stuff.
Yeah, they say you learn piano, you basically got
Yeah.
everything in one.
Mm-hmm.
So
After I learned piano, I went straight back to the
yeah,
guitar.
like it's easy
Hell
after
yeah.
that.
Yeah. Nice little Fender at my house.
To further go into the point about
Electric?
music as well.
Okay.
There was something that I was thinking of, and we talk about this all the time.
Yeah,
on this
yeah.
one. what do you think about like back in the days, like the mystique of artists, when you didn't necessarily know everything about them? Mm-hmm. And you could like the only time you knew anything about like maybe your favorite bands that you name from Disturbed or Godsmack or whoever you listen to, you wouldn't necessarily know everything about them. Mm-hmm. The only time you would know anything is when the album come out and there's those 13 tracks and they'll give you a glimpse of who they were as people, and then they could just go on tour and then you wouldn't see them.
Right.
Nowadays, with the way that the world is, everything is current, as Swerve was talking about. Mm-hmm. You have to be seen everywhere as an artist. Like you have to be. There's very few artists now that can kind of like just fall back, put out an album, whether hip hop, rock, or anything, and just go away, and then you don't know everything about them. That mystique. Yeah. Now I feel like nowadays as artists,
something has to be seen at least.
Something has to be seen, right?
Yeah.
You can't just. I feel like now it's like you have to put out so much more of yourself. Like artists now have podcasts. Like everybody's talking.
Right.
Everybody, and like we said, like remember we was talking on the chat. We said, the good thing is everybody has a podcast, but the bad thing is everybody has a podcast.
Right. Yeah.
So,
nobody's listening to each other. So
nobody's listening.
Exactly. Worried about their own.
Exactly. So do you like miss those days where like there was like a mystique, like when Michael Jackson dropped an album?
My podcast will be coming out. My podcast will be coming out next week.
This is a great time to announce the Gulak podcast.
It's totally different now, right? Like, how do you build up suspense for something you don't really know about?
Yeah, I used to like
on social media.
That's a good question. That's a very good question with today's time.
I used to wonder what like my favorite artist or my favorite wrestler was doing. I'm like, oh man, would he like this? Oh man, would he be doing like, oh man, like I used to wonder about those things. Yeah. That's what made them bigger stars to me because I didn't know what they would do. Now I can go on their social media. Oh, he's at this restaurant. Oh, so he does like this. Right. Oh, he's getting this done. Oh, he's a big fan of this. So I know everything about him just by going to his page.
Everybody can't be Sade.
Nothing. I barely.
Sia is another one. Sia, like she hides her face a lot.
Oh yeah.
Even though she used to see her face, but now it's like this character that you don't know anything about. It's like I think she does it on purpose to like.
But I think there's beauty to that.
Yeah.
Of course. I love that.
I feel like if you're an older artist, you can still get away with it. Like Seal, people like that, they could just they've already solidified, so they can go about their business.
Right.
Stevie don't have to show you what he's doing every day.
Yeah. You just see Stevie Wonder in the interview randomly, like 5 years later,
he's
like,
over
hey, Stevie.
He's already over.
Yeah, he's already over. But like, if you're a newer person, you kind of feel like you have to go to the current climate and feel like you have to. Like a friend of mine, he's in a band. Mm-hmm. Every 5 minutes, I'm seeing something from him.
Right.
Tweeting something, posting something,
He's
new
hustling.
shirts.
He's hustling.
And I'm not mad at him.
Yeah.
But he's had a moderate success. He's been on the Billboard charts before and stuff. But he's at a point now where he doesn't have to do so much.
Right.
But he feels like he has to, or he's not going to be relevant tomorrow.
I like the fact that I didn't know what Prince was eating for cereal. You know, imagine like not hiding that.
So Prince was over, right? I think that's a good way to put it. Like that word "over." Like
yeah.
So is your buddy over?
He's over.
He's over?
He's good. So he lives completely off music.
So if he went away, right, for like a month and came back and just did like one thing random, he'd still be fine? Or does he have to hustle?
I think.
Or is he just ingrained in him that he has to
That's it. It's ingrained in him.
Yeah.
He's like, he'll put out a project and he'll promote this.
Tell him he's good, man. Tell him to chill out.
Yeah.
Tell him he's good. Yeah, once he's over, he's over.
Absolutely.
That's what I think,
Absolutely.
Once people know your brand, it's not going away.
Absolutely.
The trick is getting that hook.
Yeah.
You know?
Absolutely. And I think for certain people, do you feel like that happens with wrestling as well? Like, for us as entertainers, me being a musician, I feel like if I don't do this or tweet this, especially in the lane I'm in hip-hop, I feel like hip-hop artists has the shortest shelf life.
Yeah.
Because, like he said, with current culture, this and that, if we're not doing something, if we don't have a new album out, a new mixtape, rapping over this new song, we feel like we're kind of obscure because everybody's rapping nowadays.
Yeah.
So, do you feel like that even in wrestling? Do you feel like wrestlers fall into that same pit as us, as me as an artist? Do you feel like they fall into that same?
I think across all art, it's the same kind of method.
Comedians now too.
Yeah, same thing. I think everything. I bet you even like painters go through it somehow.
Ooh.
Or like something like that. So I really think it's like, from my own experience, there's always like this glass ceiling above me, and I've never kind of like broken through that. I feel that way, and I think it's true. There's guys who will come out and they'll break through that glass ceiling, and like now they're everywhere and they're just getting booked constantly. For me, I always had to hustle, or I had my steady go-to bookings, right? That would kind of like get me through. I was lucky enough to have those, and like I do fine for that. But I like things would go up, and then like finally I get to that level, and then I'd start getting pulled in, and with WWE, it's like they might have scooped me up before I even hit that glass ceiling. I don't know, you know.
Oh.
But I'll tell you what, like I got put in the Cruiserweight Classic for a certain reason because I filled a certain gap in that tournament, right? But I wasn't Zack Sabre Jr. in the Cruiserweight Classic, right?
We had the same conversation with Cedric about the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's true. It's just true of all of us, and it has to do with like visibility and timing, and it has to do with like strategy and kind of like how you get put certain places and what your brand is and how you connect to people.
Right.
So that's the thing. So for whatever reason, he was connecting with people to a certain level. I might not have had the same audience, you know, but given the same opportunities or the same situations, could have been totally different.
Right. To further that point, you said like comedians. Eddie Murphy once said, he said this very good point. He said, if you look on Instagram and you look at comedy sketches, he's like, nowadays, that would be stand-up material for an hour. Now you have to put out a clip of something funny of you cracking jokes or these skits and stuff like that on Instagram for a minute, and you're breaking out all your material. So now to the point where you're only relevant for being known on Instagram, but you can't go perform live on an hour, crack jokes for people, because that's not your skill set. Your skill set is making a skit for that clip on Instagram, but
which is hard too.
Right, that's very hard
for a comedian that does an hour and a half of comedy of
new content
material
every day like that.
Yeah, it's right. That's really hard to do.
And you can give people right, and you got to give those people a lot of credit too, because with the short attention spans, if you could be like a Dave Chappelle with his new special, still keeps people attention. In this time where attention spans are like
gone,
like this,
right?
That's how I felt as a musician. So that's why I wanted to ask you as a wrestler.
Yeah,
you know, where was your mindset through that?
So I think the positive of that is that you're getting more opportunities to kind of make an impact. I think the negative of it is that as performers, people get either they lose a little bit of confidence in themselves, and I feel like that's where you see like kind of the style of wrestling where it's like, I got to do this, I got to do something to make an impact. Okay, cool, I'm going to go to the next thing. It's through every level. I'm not just talking like running high spots in a match. I'm talking about like you're thinking about this match, you're thinking about your next match, you're thinking about your promo, you know, and it's like just chill out, be yourself, figure out who that is, and then let it come through. And if you're doing that, you're going to be good. I think in anything, you're going to be good.
Absolutely.
But if you're not, and you're 3 steps ahead of yourself, you can't really catch up. So it's almost like you're doing a disservice. I think that's kind of like how the Sesame Street mentality of like attention spans have kind of like taken things in an artist direction with social media and all that stuff now today.
Absolutely. So let's transition into Swole's world. You know, I know you got some great questions.
Yes, on this Veterans Day.
Right, on this Veterans Day.
Shout out Captain America.
Yeah.
Yeah, shout out to new Captain America.
New
That's
Captain
right. Yeah.
Captain African America.
That's right.
Captain
Big Falcon.
Captain
That's what I like to call him. I'll take it.
You take it?
I'll take it. Yeah.
Right. So, video game world.
Okay.
What are you playing now?
Now we
literally Outer Worlds. Yeah, I was playing Outer Worlds today.
Just Outer Worlds?
No. So I got that. I got Borderlands 3. I was playing. I do a lot of retro gaming now. I bought this thing. Oh, man, I would have brought it with me. I bought this thing called a Superboy. Swanee has this. Yeah, have you seen it?
No, I haven't seen one, but yeah.
Yo, Swan had this thing on the road one time. It's like a handheld Super Nintendo. So you can plug your cartridges into it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I do know this.
Out of here!
Yeah. It's sick.
What's his name called again?
It's called a Superboy from Hyperkid. Shout out Hyperkid. You can hit me up on Instagram. Yeah.
Man.
You find it?
I'm looking that up right now.
Superboy, yeah.
He
Yeah,
said,
80-something
hold
bucks
up.
on Amazon. It's great. Yeah.
Amazon, let's talk.
Yeah, so like messing with that.
Retro games, yes?
Yeah, doing some retro gaming.
What's your top 3 retro games?
All time? How retro? Give me a time frame.
I'll give you my one, Double Dragon.
It's a good game.
Super Nintendo.
I'll go to.
So top 3 Super Nintendo games?
Yes.
Let's see, top 3 Super Nintendo games. Disney's Aladdin. That game's
I remember
awesome. That game's sick. What else? Chrono Trigger.
Chrono Trigger, yes.
Yeah, that game's amazing. And then if I had to pick another one,
Super Nintendo.
Donkey Kong Country. Yeah.
I was never a Donkey Kong guy.
My man.
It's good.
My
It's so
man.
good. So
You
good.
said it.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
I was never a Donkey Kong guy.
So good. But there's so many. It's so hard to pick. What?
So why did you choose that one over like Super Mario 3 or something like that?
Everyone picked Super Mario World, man. Come on. That one
Yeah.
changed everything.
Yeah, everybody does pick
Donkey
Super
Kong
Mario
Country
World.
took it to the next
That's
level.
why I picked Super Mario Land.
Land.
Because you get all the Yoshis.
Mm-hmm.
Land as in.
That's the one I did grind
Land
on a
Land
lot.
is the one where you get all the Yoshis and you get to get all the way
Eat
up
the
to
eggs.
stars and.
Oh.
You know, it's like it's very psychedelic.
That and Turtles in Time.
Yes, Turtles in Time.
You can't beat that.
And Killer Instinct.
See, but that to me,
Gold.
that's an arcade
You gotta
game.
have Killer Instinct.
I can't just be like, all right, Super Nintendo. It's arcade for me.
Yeah, but it was the only times I ever played it was on Super Nintendo.
All right.
But that was my thing.
Man, I
Yeah.
missed them
It's a good
days,
game.
man.
Donatello.
We played arcade.
The sewer level, man, I was out after that. I got the sewer level and I'm like, no.
So what made you go back to the retro games? Do you think that games today are just not what they used to be? They're not
Oh
enjoyable?
no, it ain't that. It ain't that. I can see the argument there where it's like, all right, it's too much, chill out, that
Right.
kind of. But I mean, the Switch has like more simple games, that kind of thing too. But I think for me, it's the fact that like, all right, I never had a steady job, and now I can actually save some money, so I can kind of enjoy the things that I wanted in those magazines when I was little,
Right.
growing up. That I was, damn, I wish I could get all this stuff, So like, now I'm kind of like collecting Game Boy. I have like 4 Game Boys. I don't need 4 Game Boys.
Is there something
But
that
they're
you're
awesome.
missing in your collection?
Am I missing in my collection
Yeah,
right now?
something that you're missing. You
It's-
spoke of like things from
it's a
your
dangerous-
childhood.
danger-
What is-
oh,
what is
okay,
something
okay.
That you want to go back and be like, you know what? I need to get this.
So
I need a light bright.
I never had a goddamn light bright. I never had a light
No,
bright.
right?
Now you got
never
me
had a
thinking.
goddamn
Light
light.
bright.
Now you got me
I want to
thinking.
put stuff together and I want to make like little cool cute
Never had a
stuff.
light
What's
bright.
Oh.
something from your childhood
Okay.
that you need.
Let me think.
That's
now.
what that's
Nah,
for everybody.
I need that. The wrestling figures when the big like wrestling thing. The
What
WWF used to sell them. We used to wrestle them, and you got like Hulk Hogan, Ultimate Warrior. They're like
You
wrestling
used to
figures.
wrestle each other?
No, like you could wrestle them. They were like,
Yeah, they were like this big,
oh,
right?
yeah.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
It was like,
they were stretchy.
Yeah.
stretch them and
Buddies.
stuff. Buddies. What do they call that?
Were they wrestling buddies?
Wrestling buddies?
I think they were.
Like the Ultimate Warrior was one.
They had
Yeah.
Sting. They had like Sting.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. I remember this.
Those were the days.
But they were like that big. They were like, yeah.
I don't know why. I never wanted them.
Yeah.
I never wanted those things.
You never
Yeah,
wanted those
no,
things?
I don't know why. Wrestling toys, like I never really wanted wrestling toys growing up.
I was a G.I. Joe guy though. I wanted I had like an army of them.
Who's your favorite?
I don't even know. I just had like I didn't know who they were, what they were. I just knew like I like this ninja looking one. I'm gonna play with this one.
Is that what you want
Hence
to go
military
back and get?
career. Yeah.
Yep.
G.I. Joe.
Is that what you want to go back and get? Your G.I.
I want to
Joes?
go back and get those big Zords from Power Rangers. I always had like the
They
Ranger
have-
itself, but
Yeah.
I wanted to put
You can plug them
the
together.
pieces together.
Yeah.
I wanted like Mastodon,
Hell
Pterodactyl, Saber-tooth Tiger, Tyrannosaurus. I wanted to make that
They
thing,
have
man.
some of those now.
Should talk to Mike Rome.
Mike Rome?
Yeah, he's got the hookup for that.
And the sad thing about them Power Ranger toys is by the time you got it for Christmas, there was already a new Power Ranger.
It was
out
another one.
with a whole nother series of
White
toys
Rangers
out.
next. Oh,
Yeah, they had it figured out.
yeah.
What's yours?
So mine, I think it has to be a Virtual Boy. Like right now, I don't know why I want one. I know it sucked, but like, I just remember like, all right, $200 to rent this thing at Blockbuster. You crazy? Like,
Right.
but that's the only way I could try it, and then you get the deposit back afterwards. So like,
really?
yeah, you could give them $200 and $10 or whatever it is. You take the Virtual Boy home. It came in a case and everything. You set it up, put these goggles on. It was awful. You could like red, everything was red, and like that controller was stuck on the thing.
I can't see.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, it was so bad. But played it for a week and then like sent it back. I was like, I'll never really need that again. I guess I can have it. It's cool. I'll just go to the next, hopefully get the next thing that comes out if I can. Yeah, I guess a Virtual Boy would be pretty sweet right now. Yeah.
Cool. What's something you're looking forward to as far as video games?
Video games?
Even movies. I'm thinking about movies. I'm like,
Yeah, movies is a whole thing.
There's nothing really coming.
I saw
out.
Terminator Dark Fate last night.
How was
sorry.
it?
Did you like Terminator 2?
Yes.
That's my favorite Terminator.
Yeah.
Then you'll like Terminator Dark Fate.
All right.
So he was like the policeman dude that kept getting up off everything. I keep forgetting his
Dude.
name. He always says it, but
It was so freaking cool. It was so T1000. Yeah, it was so freaking. It was so freaking
That's his
cool.
name,
Yeah,
alright.
I don't want to spoil anything. It was
Okay.
it was awesome. Go see it. Salvation sucked. I saw that one. It sucked.
That was
Right.
Genesis I
Right.
skipped. Yeah, this one was awesome. This one it ruled
I
hard.
watched it.
One last question. One last thing about that.
Hold on, we were talking about gaming stuff coming out.
Did Arnold take
Oh,
over
yeah.
the whole movie? That's all I want to know, and then we're good.
Did he take over the whole movie?
Yeah, they take over the whole movie.
No.
'Cause Arnold liked to take over everything.
No, he didn't take. He didn't take. It's hard for him not to because he's freaking Arnold. But like,
Okay.
he was. He was.
that.
Yeah.
was the
He was
first
in
one.
it. He was in it, and he wasn't just like there for a second. It was good. It was,
Okay.
dude, it was good.
Cool.
Go see it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
cool.
go see
Will
it.
do.
It was good. So like gaming stuff coming out. So Pokemon comes out like next week, I think. This week, end of this week, the 15th. I think that's gonna be pretty sick. It's like a real big deal. We're playing that at home, so that's gonna be fun. Then what else is coming out soon? Yeah.
The Jedi Fallen Order is also.
Yo, that looks awesome, right? I didn't realize it was coming out now.
See, I need to stop watching reviews because there's like bad things about Fallen Order. I'm not even a Star Wars person, but I need to stop watching reviews.
Too much talking. I don't know.
I don't know. They're like
That's why those reviews are just like, like I don't trust your opinion anymore.
not anymore.
Same with wrestling reviews. Let's talk about those.
Ooh, that's muddy waters.
If you're reading wrestling reviews and then deciding what wrestling you're going to see, you're not a wrestling fan.
reading wrestling reviews,
That's 100% facts, though.
Get out of here.
gotta
You're already
form
a
your own-
wrestling.
form
If
your
you're
own
reading those
opinion,
things, you're
man.
already watching it. So
Right.
just go
enjoy.
watch it.
Yeah.
Just go watch it.
Just go watch.
Yeah. If you're writing them,
Yeah, that's even muddier waters.
say good things about me, please.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, you loved
Strawberries.
Drew Gulak versus Isaiah Scott
have-
on 205 Live. You
Yes.
Are 6 snowflakes at least out of 5? I don't know.
What are movies coming out in 2000? Like, what are holiday movies? There's no holiday movies.
No, Star Wars is coming out. So
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So there we got that.
jazz for
Ain't a
that.
thing coming out. Look, I'm over here like I don't
Look,
know. I really honestly don't know. What
are the
Doctor
holiday
Sleep
movies?
just came out. Doctor Sleep looked cool.
So that'd be
I
the
saw that. That was pretty good.
Was it good?
pretty good, or is it like get up out your seat, pay this money to go see it?
Depends on how big of a
Christmas
fan
Story
of The
reruns.
Shining you are.
I like The Shining.
I enjoyed The Shining. Yes.
I'd say go check it out. It's worth a watch.
All right.
Is it worth a get up off my couch and
you
go
know
see?
what's been taking over? It's those Netflix originals. It's they're just taking over everybody's lives, and they're just like, okay, I'm just gonna stay home and watch Sabrina, or
What's that movie?
It's crazy.
The movie The Irishman is coming out. That looked pretty sick.
Martin Scorsese's new
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I know that. I know of it. I seen like maybe like 30 seconds of a trailer.
Yeah, some of it.
That looks good.
They
I'm
actually
sure.
set it in Village Aroma, which is a restaurant in South Philly. So they rebuilt the restaurant up in wherever they filmed the movie. But like, it's like it's a place I kind of know. So I don't know. That looks pretty cool.
What's the movie what was the last movie that disappointed you?
Disappointed me.
Big blockbuster that you went to go see.
What did I see recently?
All right.
I can't even remember what I had
Smith.
for breakfast, dude.
I actually.
Gemini Man. Like I said it was gonna be.
So you fell for that?
I didn't.
Wow.
I told everybody else not to do it.
No one.
Ryan Katz went to go see it, and he said like they did some really good cinematography camera tricks with it. So
That's how you know it's like don't see it.
he said he
The
appreciated it.
cinematography was wonderful.
He's like, it was great
Okay.
shots. The movie's awful, but man, the shots were amazing.
What did I see recent? I don't think there was something recently that I saw that I didn't like.
Right.
Sylvester Stallone tried to pull this damn Rambo thing out the behind again.
Oh yeah.
Lord knows, trash.
I didn't see it.
You didn't see it?
See it, no.
I saw a bootleg. I didn't waste my money. But
You saw
don't
this-
bootleg.
you saw
things,
this version
make
of it?
Like support the
Saw
movie.
the shoulder, somebody's shoulder.
The Handycam remix version.
Walk about.
Where the dude gets up in the middle of it and then walks.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You just
but,
hearing popcorn and stuff like, that sounds like
it's like, all right, Sylvester, like, okay, now he's in the house. He's not even in the woods no more. He's in the house chilling. They coming for him. And it's like, come on, Rambo. Like, it's over, bro. Like,
We're coming to get you. Why?
Like,
He's just
it's
sitting here
over.
chilling.
now he's like
grab. It's a
Sylvester.
cash grab.
Now he's like Steven Seagal. He can't move no more. Everybody's coming to him. He does everything.
It was totally a cash grab. Let me try to find out what movie.
It looks like.
Ty, look
Like, hey, over here, come here. Got him.
Adrian! That's not the movie. That's not the movie. Rock.
Movie slide.
That's not the movie slide.
He called all the Expendables actors by real name. Mickey, my name's Jim. He's like,
do what you
keep it in
want,
the
then,
cut.
Jim.
No, it
Keep
looks like
Cat.
if Home Alone was rated R, essentially.
Somebody said that.
Yeah.
What the new
The new Rambo film. Because
I'm
he has
putting
like all these
thumbtacks on the
booby
bottom of the
traps
step.
and stuff, and like stuff. Hooked
Yeah.
up, like,
All you
saws
need to
and
hear is
stuff,
dun,
yeah.
dun, dun.
Yeah, because he's sitting at home. He just sitting home
Big
making
old-
gadgets. Just in case somebody get him because he can't do nothing physically no more.
Wow.
So,
Paint cans.
bring the doorbell arrow go through his eye. Ah!
So I liked Joker. I did like
Joker.
that.
That movie was
Yeah.
good.
Okay,
Good,
yeah.
great movie.
Yeah, I did like that.
How did you feel about it? Like, me personally about the Joker,
Yeah.
I don't think it was a great Joker rendition, but I thought it was a great movie about a guy going crazy.
Yeah.
That's my thing.
Yeah, I mean-
I was like, it didn't have to be the Joker for it to be that
Yeah.
film.
All right, cool. He knows Bruce Wayne when he's a kid for some reason. It's weird. It's kind of like
That
random.
threw me off.
Yeah. But I guess he's mad at his dad, so that's how it tied in.
It was good.
But then it
was
happens
good
to be
times.
Batman someday. Come on, we don't know if he becomes Batman. Maybe he's never Batman in that one.
Maybe he's
How
not
about
Joker. I remember they did like on the Gotham show. They had that Joker character, but he wasn't Joker. He ended up dying at the end of the episode. But
Spoiler alert.
it was like season 1.
Now I don't have to watch it. It's cool.
Or season 2.
Yeah, please.
But
Right. Now I know.
what? Oh, I would plan on watching
I
Gotham
plan on watching
tomorrow.
Gotham.
I'm unsubscribed from the podcast. I just rewatched.
What?
Hey, so I know the movie that I was disappointed in last. But you want to finish your Joker thought?
Okay, so basically, that Joker character, whoever guy died, but all these other people at home
Spoiler
were
alert.
watching it. Yeah, he dies. And they all start smiling. So, like, all these people got inspired. So, the Joker could be anybody.
Oh.
So, I like that. They did a little spin on that, which is what I thought they were going to do here.
That's
Okay.
creepy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought... No, I don't want to spoil the Joker, so I don't want to talk about what I thought happened. We can talk about it later. But the movie I was actually disappointed in last, I saw as a blockbuster, it was the live-action Lion King.
Yo, me and my kids walked out of that, yo.
Yeah.
You walked out?
We walked out.
No.
The kids, too?
Yeah, the kids. My daughter was like, I'm not.
was okay.
I'm not happy.
She's like, Daddy, I don't go home. I said, okay.
Yeah.
It wasn't no violence.
What now? What happened?
You gotta make me sit through Mufasa scene again. This better be good.
I don't know what
Me and
happened.
dying.
So,
Yeah.
so
Spoiler alert,
we got to
Mufasa
the
died.
part.
Mufasa dies. What?
That Mufasa scene, I was like, I don't want to talk about it.
If you
It's
haven't
still
seen the
fresh.
regular Lion King, go back to see the one in the 90s. That's the
Right.
one you need to go see.
That's the thing.
Like
Like
Jason
these-
Weaver.
But we got to the part where,
Yeah.
Scar, Nyla went to go get Simba,
Yeah.
Right.
and
I made it.
and Simba's an adult.
Yeah.
And as soon as he turned into an adult, my daughter was like,
The end of Hakuna
Time to
Matata, you
go.
were out of there.
Bingo.
Yeah.
Right after the song, my daughter was not having it.
How was Hakuna Matata?
Trash.
No, I thought it was good.
I didn't like
You
it.
didn't like it at
bro.
all?
I didn't like any of.
They didn't hold a
the
candle.
songs,
Yeah, it
like,
didn't hold a candle.
No.
No.
No, it's never gonna work.
Is it?
Beyonce wrote some exclusives too.
Wasn't Beyonce?
Came out
She did.
on the
Yeah.
album.
She
Yeah.
tried her best.
Was it because we were comparing it to
She's
the
great.
original, or was
I
it
love
just
Beyonce.
not a
No,
good film?
She's great. She's great.
What
She
it-
tried to save it.
Is it because we were comparing it to the original Lion
For
King?
me,
or was
yes.
it
For
just
I'm
not
gonna be
good?
100. Yes.
We
That's
gonna
the
say-
thing,
we gonna
yeah.
compare it. I compared Aladdin to the other Aladdin.
Yeah. You can't.
A lot of people love that Aladdin. Like, everybody's like,
I didn't mind
because
it.
a lot of females told me they love the
It
new
was
Aladdin.
better than.
Did it need the extra
Lion King
songs?
Red Lion. It need all the extra songs.
Like,
No,
I don't need. I don't
Hakuna
need.
Matata can't wait to
No
be king.
offense that I
Done.
need the women's
And
empowerment.
feel the love tonight.
Aladdin bit, like
Exactly.
it's
like, no.
Jasmine's already
Jasmine
like the most famous princess of all time.
Jasmine
Like,
already 14.
Yeah.
If you really want to talk about it, let's talk about it. Otherwise, leave all that other crap out of there. I'm
like,
just trying to listen to take a magic carpet ride. I ain't
Yeah.
trying to listen to all that other stuff.
I don't need to see Scar like salivating, and you can see like his spit and all that and all this. I just want to see the cartoon. Let me see Pumbaa's a cartoon, and let me.
I'm
just
surprised
leave that
Scar
alone.
wasn't Lawrence Fishburne.
Hey, wait. Also, too. hey, so.
He's like every villain,
Right.
every black villain.
Simba, take the red.
Oh, that's
pill.
He gave Bill Murray. He gave Bill Murray a virus and Osmosis Jones. He's like, come on, man. Like,
Right.
Hey, so
Yeah, didn't he?
was it just me or did Scar not sound intimidating at all?
Nah, no,
At all.
Scar sound like me.
Mufasa.
Scar didn't sound like
Hey.
because I'm intimidated.
I want your
Right.
throne.
Hey, Simba, don't do that. Yeah, great movie.
Yeah, I think
Long live the king. Maybe.
the live action remakes though, they're just not as good as the animated
Wait,
originals.
stop.
Waiting for that Little Mermaid next.
Like,
Need to start remaking.
So they did
everything.
the musical on
Yo,
TV,
that was
the live
trash.
musical.
I was sorry. That was trash.
I was going to tune in to check that out, but I watched.
Queen
football
Latifah
all
was
day.
good, but
Of course.
everything else, right?
Because,
No surprise.
Yeah.
She's a pro, right? She's a pro.
I just saw the
Yeah.
I did see like clips of the with the cheetahs, them doing that, getting the costume for that. I was like, I'm intrigued. Maybe.
Yeah, I just wanted the movie to come out.
You
so far,
is that-
Mulan.
You know-
All right.
Mulan looks lit.
I was like, Mulan, okay.
Now,
Come on,
Give me something
I'm gonna go
good.
see
Yeah.
Mulan.
Give
You
me
can't, man.
something good. Don't mess
Mulan,
up.
one of my favorite
Mess
Disney
up.
movies of all time. I will go see that one.
It is as well, mine, but
I'm gonna go
live
watch
action
it.
one does not look good.
Mm.
I heard they're not gonna have any music in it.
Yeah.
None. It's super serious, like
Yeah.
Crouching Tiger
Really?
serious.
It's like The Last Samurai, but
Yeah.
it's
I'm
now
gonna go
the
watch
story
it.
of Mulan. Do we need a serious,
I don't want it
super
serious. I want it
serious?
to
I guess
be
it's
on
it's a
the
serious
man.
story.
I wanted to hit a song. She must be swift.
I told my grandmother the other day I'm not interested.
No Mushu.
I am not.
No.
I am not
How am I gonna have
interested.
the strength of a great typhoon right there?
I want to dance.
Yeah.
So I was watching the trailer and I told Swerve this and I was like, bro, you might be on to something because I saw that trailer of Bad Boys and I was like, I am not wasting my
That's
money.
the next Will Smith.
I cannot
Flop
see
coming.
I cannot see non-action Martin Lawrence do nothing but stand there and crack old jokes. I'm good, fam.
Did he do a lazy boy joke?
I mean,
Yes, he did. He
I'm
did.
like-
Yeah, he did.
I mean, listen, Martin Lawrence didn't really do much. He did. I mean, young Martin Lawrence, yeah, but Martin Lawrence 2 was maybe a couple scenes of him running, maybe.
And Bad Boys 2?
Yeah.
Like, the ecstasy scene was hilarious. That was the best part of the movie. And then, like, the rest of it, I didn't
But
really
he was
care
still
for.
more. He was still more alive. I don't, you know.
this is gonna be- that's
Yeah,
gonna
Martin
be
Lawrence
bad.
now looks like Big Mama's house in the suit. That's what he looks like now.
We might as well just wait for Come to America 2. Listen.
I don't want that.
Come and
I'm good on that,
Oh,
fam.
man.
Why?
I don't want that.
Is that a thing?
We don't need, like,
It really
I
shouldn't
gotta
be
still
a
see
thing.
Dolomite,
It
though.
really shouldn't be a thing, but it's gonna be a thing.
there's a
I just,
certain
you know,
movie. Okay.
You know what I really want? I really want another Black Dynamite. Cause
That's
it's
fine.
hilarious.
There's certain movies that
I
just
just need
don't.
some
We don't need a
cool
Demolition Man 2.
Give us some good stuff.
We don't
No,
need a Demolition
no.
Man 2.
That's a
No.
thing?
I hope not.
No, come on,
Uh,
man.
I'm
Don't
saying,
start
look,
with that.
listen.
Like,
Can't
we
ruin
don't-
it. It's perfect. It's a perfect
It's
movie.
perfect. I don't want to. We don't need a Demolition Man 2.
Cinematic
Learn
classic.
from Speed.
We don't need a Money Train
Learn
2.
from Speed.
Right.
Look,
Nah,
Speed 1 was enough.
White man
Yeah, we
can't
didn't
jump.
need a boat.
We ain't even.
No.
We don't need
So you know he's gonna be the new Blade, but I don't think they're gonna have him be Blade this time.
No.
I hope not.
No, they cast a new Blade already.
Yeah.
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 Mahershala.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But now they're gonna have Wesley
Phenomenal.
involved, but
Yeah.
he's not gonna be Blade, so we're gonna see what he does.
Who's not? Oh, you're talking about
He's gonna be
Wesley
passing out
Snipes?
the
Yeah,
sword.
it's like, but maybe a passing of the torch. They
He's,
say
he's going to be in it?
yeah, they say he
Right.
might be the
No.
villain in the movie.
No.
Oh,
Don't do this to me, Wesley Snipes.
So,
No.
how do those go?
Right, don't do this to me.
Those never really go well, do they?
Yeah.
They don't.
Hero's the villain now.
Right.
What'd you guys think of the new Ghostbusters movie? Wasn't that cool?
What's the women one?
Yeah.
It's trash.
Trash.
I say it.
Thank
She
you.
had to say it.
Yeah,
I had
he
to
had
say
to.
it.
Thank
I
you.
had to say it. That was trash. Look, they're supposed to be putting out another one with the original four
Yeah, yeah,
characters,
yeah.
So I was like, thank you. Bill, come safe.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for my Sonic Hedgehog
Really?
movie.
Oh.
I'm waiting, like, they made, Sonic was looking sexy. The original cast of him, he had some legs, he had muscle definition. I'm like, why is Sonic looking like this?
Right.
Yeah.
You gotta catch them tails.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, I'm done. Alright, I'm done.
YouTube.com/Swerve City Podcast. Subscribe to the channel.
That's a good time to close with Sexy Sonic. Mr. Drew.
We're going off with Sexy Sonic?
Miss
All right.
Sexy Sonic, like calf definition and all, had some Pumas on.
Yeah.
You did.
He had Pumas.
He does the squats. Sexy Sonic does the squats.
Pumas.
So you mean to tell me Pumas are going to work on a rapid running, like them things ain't going to fall apart?
They would have dissolved.
They're not, because Pumas is maybe
They would
the
turn into
best
dust.
quality.
There
Yeah,
was
Sonic.
a pile of ruined shoes in the trailer, so I assume that he has multiple.
Well, what we're saying is
We
that
never
Pumas
cared about
Oh,
if
will
he
not
changed shoes.
deteriorate.
You got that far on the trailer? I saw Sonic's sexy legs and I was like, oh.
I broke down. Never mind. I'm not gonna.
Breaking it
Wrap it
down.
up.
It was great having you,
Yeah,
man.
thanks for having me in.
Thank you for
Yeah, it was
coming
fun.
through.
Yeah.
Fun times as always. We like to
Oh,
have
yeah.
a party here. We made Killian rap and sing. Well, he didn't do it, but we tried.
Yeah.
But we had that, so, but we ain't gonna make you do that.
Thanks.
He's like, thank you.
Yeah.
Let everybody know where they can find you if they not already the whole world knows.
Find me on Friday Night Smackdown, which is now on Fox, which is the same channel that The Simpsons are on.
Ooh.
They still running.
And they got the NFL robot
Yeah. Also, the NFL robot
is on SmackDown now.
might be doing battle with me at some point.
With the with the 205 Live Ninja. I can't wait for that match to happen.
205 Live Ninja would school him so bad. Yeah.
Yes, he would.
Bet you
They
bet
don't
you
call
the
flags and
robot can't do one of those lean back kicks on the rope. Yeah.
Right.
That spinning
Yeah.
joint he does. Yeah, no,
I
he ain't having
can't
it.
do that, no.
Follow Drew Gulak, man.
Yeah, follow me. It's my name on social
Easy
media.
on everything.
Yep.
At Drew Gulak, easy, love it. Teasy Scott, let them know where to
Teasy
find
Scott,
you.
Instagram,
What's
Twitter.
coming up in the world for
You
you?
know, we have once again we have From Humble Beginnings coming April 4th next year. Make sure you guys check that out. We have a special album that me and my bro are in the studio working on right now. Next week I will be just giving you guys the Lost Tapes too. A lot of wrestling themes I've made. You guys I'm releasing them like hotcakes. go ahead and cop that. It's not nothing. I'm just giving out y'all to the people y'all wanted that. So Lost Tapes too. I'll give you guys that just to have them. I'll just post a link when it's out. You guys, it's like my mixtape, so just have it. It's old stuff. Check it out.
Yeah.
And make sure you guys get your Teasy's Table shirts as well. We just shot an episode of Teasy's Table coming exclusive to this channel. YouTube.com/Swerve City Podcast. Make sure you guys go ahead and cop them shirts from FullyGimmick.com. And that is it for me. What about you, sis? Big Swole.
Let's see. Coming up this weekend, I have 4 Years of Wrestling in New York, so I'll be in Brooklyn.
Brooklyn.
Yeah. Then the following weekend, I'll be in Louisville, Kentucky, for FSCW, so I'll be back as Storm, cosplay wrestling.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool.
I'm excited. I haven't been Storm in a minute, so I get to, be a queen. I gotta get a character on. And then after Thanksgiving, I'll be at WrestleCade. I'll be signing for WrestleTopia.
Love WrestleCade.
Yeah, so I'll just be there. You guys just show me all your Thanksgiving games.
Wish I could be there this year, but
Right.
my babies come first.
Right. Babies always come first. Babies always
All
come
of
first.
them.
Otherwise, you can probably catch me on Tuesdays or Mondays or whenever they want to release AEW Dark.
Yeah.
I will be on there, most likely. Follow me on Swole World, Twitter, and The Big Swole on Instagram.
And as always, be confident in everything you do.
Wash your ass.
Are you going to get a pop?
And wash your ass.
Mm.
Wash it. Don't
Wash
play
it.
around.
Wash it.
Stanky.
Wash it.
With soap.
Soap and water.
The bar.
The whole
The
ball.
whole bar.
Get your soap up.
Just soap on the bar.
Yeah, get your soap up.